A jingle bell, jingle bell rock. That's the intro.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
And have a good Christmas, everyone. At least it's the last time I ever have to wear this. I'm a bit excited about that. It's really starting to itch my head. It's causing a rash and it's annoying.
We're gonna think of something for January. The January hat.
What could it be? What could it be? Just depression because it's not Christmas anymore.
Depression
hat. Okay.
Just put a whole city shirt on.
First game that we're going to be looking at over the Christmas period. Obviously, there's about 200,000 games, but we're just going to be looking at 4.
Yeah.
For the start of the Christmas period, sort of thing. First game is an interesting one. You wouldn't think so, but Watford versus Crystal Palace, because news just in, literally breaking news within the last 10 minutes. Alan Pardew has been sacked from Crystal Palace. No more dancing, no more anything, because he's gone. Who are they going to get? Who's most likely to dance? Hasn't got a job? Gus Poyet, he could probably. I reckon he'd dance.
Yeah, well, I looked at the market last week, and I think Chris Coleman was very high on the list.
Is that he's always high on the list?
Welsh national manager, of course, but former Crystal Palace player. So it may well be Chris Coleman who's the man for the job.
That'd be interesting. He's obviously done really well at Wales, hasn't he?
Or it could be the poorly dealt with Gary Rowett from Birmingham.
Gary Rowett, oh yeah, he was great at Birmingham. That was ridiculous. Maybe that's why they sacked him. Maybe this was the plan all along. But anyway, Watford versus Crystal Palace seems like quite a tight game. Obviously, Crystal Palace have just lost their manager, so occasionally that galvanises teams a little bit. What do you reckon?
Well, Watford are coming into this game on the back of 2 defeats. They even failed to score in both those games against Man City and Sunderland. Next up for them, there is a home tie against Palace, who of course are struggling themselves. No teams in the 92 Football League teams and Premier League teams in England has scored less points in 2016 than Crystal Palace. So you have to say that it's probably fair that Pardew's lost his job. A very poor return in the year 2016 for Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
And for that reason, Watford are favourites to win this match. They're doing pretty well at Vicarage Road at home. They've won 4 of their last 6, including impressive victories against Everton and Man United. And if you fancy them to win, you can get 7-5, which isn't a bad price at all. Crystal Palace have a decent record in this fixture. However, they are, as they have not lost any of their last 5 visits to Watford, so that's a pretty good going there. However, this season they've just been pretty poor. They've actually won just 1 of their last 19 matches on the road, and they've picked up just 1 victory in their last 10 games. So all is not well. But it could well be that it was all Pardew's fault, and he's gone now, and the players will pick themselves up and get a win. If you fancy them here, they're a bigger price. They're 23-10 if you fancy them. So I'm going to stay away from the full-time result market because I think it's, as you say, a pretty tight one to call.
Good shout.
And I'm going to be backing Troy Deeney to finally break his duck. It's now been 10 matches that Troy Deeney hasn't scored a goal. And he's actually trying to get his 100th career goal for Watford. He's been stuck on 99.
Oh, no.
He's been stuck on 99 for 10 games. But the fact that no team has conceded more goals from set pieces this season than Crystal Palace could well be the proof of the pudding here, because of course Deeney is a big burly striker and is a menace in set piece situations, so he can really play on that poor back line at set pieces. And I think 9-5 on a Troy Deeney goal here looks pretty decent value.
Yeah, I like that 9-5. I mean, he obviously, like you said, he hasn't scored in a while, but it has to be broken at some point, doesn't it? He plays every game. He's playing against Crystal Palace, who are just poor at the moment.
Yep.
Just lost their manager. If he's going to score any time, it's going to be today.
A header from 4 yards out, from a corner, or a free kick.
A bullet header from over the line. And
again, using easyodds.com, you'll make sure that you get the very best prices, and he's available at 9-5, which is far better than the 6-5 elsewhere.
Far better. Far better. Next up, another game on the Monday is Hull versus Man City. Now, Hull are looking kind of down and out, really. That's what people thought at the start of the season, isn't it? They thought Hull have no chance, and then they proved everyone wrong with a couple of wins, and now they're just getting their kind of squad look. Thin squad is showing. Pep obviously started the season incredibly well, had a blip, came back, having another blip now. It looks like the title is almost gone away from them, I'd say. Chelsea are quite a long way clear now. But Are they going to get the job done at Hull? I assume they're favourites.
Absolutely, Jake. Yeah, huge favourites here to win the game. The bookies don't see a fairy tale here at all. They're making them short price here of 4-11, so very much odds-on price there. The Citizens have got a really good record against Hull. They've lost just one of their 8 Premier League matches against the Tigers. Whilst Pep Guardiola's superstar squad is being tested with injury at the moment, Gundogan's out, Aguero and Fernandinho are suspended. They've proved their mettle with their win against Arsenal last time out. Second half, they really turned things around. They turned the screw on Arsenal, and Arsenal just couldn't cope. Mike Phelan is the current manager at Hull, and he knows full well that this Tiger side, who are bottom of the league, need to start picking up points, because 21 of the 24 teams who have been bottom at Christmas have been relegated.
Oh, really?
So they are statistically very likely to get relegated at this point. They are, however, unbeaten in their last 4 home matches, so some may well back them to create problems for a shaky Man City defence. The Stones-Bravo combination seems to still scare plenty of Man City fans, and their best price of 9-1 to win this home game, if you fancy an upset on a Boxing Day.
That would be a humongous upset, wouldn't it? But they are at home. But what are you fancying in this one? Staying away from the full-time market?
Yeah, I wish I could back a Hull win, I just can't see it. Raheem Sterling, though, is back. He was injured, of course, and didn't quite look right when he came back against Leicester. But now he's had 2 or 3 games to get back in the swing, and he looks very much like the Raheem Sterling of old. He's the best price here of 8-5 to score any time. Hull have conceded it in every match they played at home this season, so you have to back City to score a goal here. Aguero is out, and Sterling may well fill the boots of him at the KC Stadium. Since he's returned from injury, he looks fit and sharp again. Like I said, he took his goal against Arsenal last weekend really, really well. He also loves playing on Boxing Day, weirdly enough. He scored in each of his 2 matches on Boxing Day that he's played in previous Boxing Day matches, and he's been involved in 8 goals in his 15 games this season, whether that be an assist or a goal itself. So he's always involved. He's a very good player, and I think up against a Hull side that have yet to keep a clean sheet at home, it's a decent price here, 8-5. Anytime goal scorer.
Would be quite a good bet that I don't even know if it exists. To score or assist.
Yeah,
that'd be a good bet, wouldn't it? Put a really short odds. It'd be like Raheem Sterling, score or assist, evens. Be like, interesting.
Absolutely.
Possibly.
Request a bet, Sky Bet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good idea. Yeah, they're playing him in the middle, aren't they? Since Aguero's been out. Yeah. They started with that Iheanacho guy, who I really, really rate. I like him a lot. I think he's superb, and he's really young still.
He's got an incredible goal scoring record.
Yeah, and I put him in my fancy team, and then Pep was just like, no, he's not working. We'll put a non-scoring right winger on his centre forward. But he did score quite a few goals at the start of the season, to be fair. And he obviously scored last week as well. Are there any other, or is there any price? What's the price difference between Raheem?
Just to point it out, worst price, odds on 5-6. So that's a huge difference. You can squeeze quite a bit more value there, odds on, or get 8-5.
That bookie must just be really, really assuming that he's going to be playing centre forward.
Yeah.
But
so, happy days.
Happy days. 8-5. That's nice. Do you know who it's with, or is it just one?
I can't remember.
Someone.
Make sure you go to easyodds.com and find out.
Okay. Next up, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool take on Stoke.
Yes.
Joe Allen returns to.
Of course it is. Yes. Yeah. It's the Joe Allen derby.
Returns to
Peter
Liverpool.
Crouch derby. Charlie Adam derby.
Whoa.
Glenn Johnson derby.
No. If your theory of players going to score against their old team, it's going to be
4-0 Stoke.
4-0 Stoke. Joe Allen. Peter Crouch is going to come on. Stoke have got the longest record in the Premier League where an English player hasn't scored.
Oh yeah.
15 matches. 15 matches it is.
So it's very, very unlikely that Peter Crouch or Glenn Johnson will score.
Glenn Johnson, unlikely. I'd say very unlikely for those 2 players especially. So who are the obviously Liverpool favourites? Are they odds on? Big odds on?
Yeah, they're odds on. 1-3 best price if you fancy a home win here. Plenty of people will. They're now unbeaten in 15 home games this season. They've scored 25 goals in all competitions so far at Anfield as well. So you have to go with the stats and say that they absolutely should be favourites. Stoke are 11th in the table, and they've scored just 8 goals in 8 away league games so far this season. They also have a horrible record on Merseyside, picking up just 1 win at Anfield in their last 38 visits.
Oh.
That's not good, is it?
That's an entire season just against Liverpool and not getting one win. That is so bad.
So because of that, they're a best price here of 11 to 1. But if you are someone who backs the underdogs, make sure that you use easyodds.com because they're available at 9 to 1 elsewhere. So make sure you get the best value there and get the 11 to 1. So I'm going to be backing something here, and what I'm backing is Liverpool to win to 0. Whilst the attack is in full flow, the likes of Lallana, Firmino, Mane all looking really, really good going forward. Throughout the whole season, their defence has hardly been watertight. However, back-to-back clean sheets for Liverpool since they've dropped Carrius. I don't think there's any correlation there. They kept clean sheets against both Everton and Middlesbrough, and not only were those clean sheets where it was just good saves from the keeper, they were actually stopping teams from having shots. There was only 8 shots in 2 matches from their opposition sides there, so they're really doing much better defensively. And up against Stoke side that, as I just said, I've only scored 8 goals in their 8 away league games this season. You've got to fancy the Reds to keep another clean sheet here and go on to win the game. So I think, one more stat to fit in there. The Potters have failed to score in 11 of their last 17 visits to Merseyside.
Oh wow!
So win to 0, 5 to 4, very nice price.
Very nice. Odds against.
Odds against, far better than backing just Liverpool to win the game at 1 to 3. 5 to 4, Liverpool to win to 0.
If you do want to back Liverpool 1 to 3, then you are almost certainly going to win your money.
Absolutely.
They have won in 38 games.
That is true.
Liverpool double chance. Put your entire life savings on that. Although definitely don't actually do that. Are there any time differences even?
My man James Milner,
penalty legend,
of course, takes the penalties for Liverpool. He's scored plenty of goals this season. He's also scored from open play once or twice. He's doing really, really well as a makeshift fullback, I would suggest. Far better than playing Alberto Moreno, who can't defend, which for a defender is a problem. He's a worst price of 23 to 10, which is really, really short. So make sure that you use easy odds and get the best price there of 13 to 5, which is basically almost 3 to 1 that Liverpool will get a penalty and score.
Yeah, they have to get a penalty, don't they? Really, and if they do, then he'll take it for some reason.
Yeah,
they've just chosen him as their penalty. Well, not for some reason. He scores all the time.
He will have to get past Lee Grant though, who is obviously.
Oh yeah, Lee Grant. They got him on like a weird emergency loan, and he's still there. I think he's just carried on forever. Lee Grant, Derby legend, Derby's second choice goalie, playing in the Prem of Stoke.
Also had the game of his life
against Zlatan
at Old Trafford.
Most ridiculous saves ever. Liverpool are going to Mane. People were saying that he is one of the signings of the season, which you couldn't argue with. Really, he's been fantastic. They're probably going to lose him.
His odds actually were 25 to 1 to be PFA Player of the Year.
Okay.
Which, if they go on to win the league, could well be a good bet.
The only worry I would have is that he's probably going to go to the African Cup of Nations, isn't he?
Yeah.
Along with a lot of West Ham and Leicester players. Mara's probably going to go as well. Last game we're going to be looking at: Southampton versus Spurs.
Yeah,
the Saints
big game
versus Spurs. This is a big game. Yeah, it's a big game for Europa League. God, how much would they hate that? Spurs fans would hate that, wouldn't they? But yeah, Southampton versus Spurs. Who are the favourites in this one? I'll Tottenham, obviously. Well, not obvious, but I'm assuming they're favourites.
They are favourites, but I'm going to argue why they shouldn't be shortly.
Okay.
With a record of 3 wins and a draw at St Mary's since their promotion, it is small wonder that Tottenham have been installed as favourites here. The best price of 13 to 8. So since Southampton have been promoted in 2012, Tottenham haven't lost any of those matches at St Mary's. So head-to-head record, you have to go with Tottenham. However, whilst Tottenham have won 4 of their last 5 matches and got their season back on track, all 4 of those wins have come at home. Playing away from home is something that this current Spurs squad is really struggling with. They've only won 3 of their 12 away matches this season. And Southampton, coming into this match on a run of just 1 loss in their last 7, and have an excellent home record so far. That they've lost just 1 of their 13 home matches in all competitions, and that was against Chelsea. Chelsea beating everyone. So with that in mind, best price of 19 to 10 on a home win looks pretty decent value.
Yeah, well, yeah. From what you said, seems like it is a good price.
But I'm going to play it slightly safer.
Oh no!
And I'm going to be backing Southampton draw, no bets.
Okay.
So their best price of 26 to 25 there. So that's better than even money. Still odds against. And of course, if it is a draw, then you get your money back, and you only lose if Tottenham win. And the fact that Southampton have only lost 1 match at home this season, it's fairly unlikely. So this is a Premier League team in Tottenham that haven't won an away game since September in the league. So for them to go to Southampton and win is going to be pretty tough for them. I think, despite the fact that Charlie Austin is injured, they haven't struggled for goals since. Jay Rodriguez has pipped in with the goals for the Saints. And they've also only conceded 7 goals at home this season, Southampton.
Okay.
So defensively, stellar. It's the only worry is will they get the goals post the Charlie Austin injury.
Yeah.
So backing them draw no bet where you get your money back if it's a draw, which is a fairly likely result in this game, I think. 26 to 25, pretty decent price. I'm happy to take it.
Yeah, odds against, always happy to take it. That's the rule, isn't it?
That is the rule.
That's the rule. Are there any odds differences in this?
Yeah, there's a big one.
Okay, good.
Ryan Bertrand scored the other week. Lovely strike across goal. Hit the post and went in, and he could well score 2 in 2. So odds of 9 to 1, pretty decent.
No,
Far better using easyodds.com. 18 to 1.
Double the price.
Boom.
That is an absolute smasher.
So yeah, for a player who goes forward, and he'll be up against Carl Walker, who is now playing in this new wing-back formation, which means that for the most part he's going to be further forward than he would be if he was playing at fullback. Mm-hmm. There's going to be space in behind, and Bertrand may well use that space, hit one across the goalie just like he did last week. So 18 to 1, decent money.
Good theory as well. Good theory behind it. Okay, so we quickly go through the matches then.
Yes, let's do it. Watford v Crystal Palace, early game. We're going to be backing Troy Deeney to finally break his duck, score a goal, 9 to 5.
His 100th goal for Watford.
Yes.
Hull versus Man City.
I'm going for anytime goal scorer again. I'm going for Raheem Sterling to score 2 in 2. Best price of 8 to 5.
Big price difference as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
Odds on or 8 to 5.
Make sure you use easy odds to get the best price.
Liverpool versus Stoke.
I'm going to be backing a hat-trick of clean sheets for Liverpool and to win this game, and Liverpool to win to 0, 5 to 4.
Nice. And will the Saints go marching on versus Spurs?
They might do, and if they draw, then we get our money back, so that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be
They
going.
won't go marching on, but they will just stand still.
Just marching on the spot.
They won't all go backwards.
So Southampton, draw no bet, 26 to 25.
All odds against.
As always.
Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice.
So that's your Game Week 18 tips.
Christmas edition.
Christmas edition. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with a video.
Yeah.
So make sure that you have a lovely, lovely Christmas. Try and be as festive as this fellow with his tinsel head.
Everyone should wear this. Make it a fashion.
Make it a fashion.
Make it the new fashion.
Thanks very much.
Mullet thing.
for
Wait,
watching.
hang on as well. Remember to download the new
Yes,
app
just about
update.
to say. We've just released the new app, which features in-app betting, so you don't even need to leave the app to place your bets anymore. It features new layout.
Brand new layout, new colour
It's
scheme.
faster,
Much faster.
and it's got new colours. Almost as many colours as this tinsel had.
But not quite.
So thanks very much for watching. Make sure you check out easyodds.com for all your best bets, whether that be football, horse racing, cricket, or snooker. Why not? Thanks very much for watching. I'm Ross Casey. This is Jake Johns.
Wait. Merry Christmas.